wake up. It's the Flow Show, no filter. And everybody getting cussed out in the Diddy trial. And we got witnesses missing. It is crazy. We're going to get straight into it. The trial of the century is not disappointing. It's crazy. But before I get into it, let me cover my ass. No Diddy. The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show No Filter are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Happy hump day. Sheesh, this week going by fast already. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. This is the Flow Show, no filter. Of course, I'm your boy Flo. Got a crazy show for you today. As I said, people already getting cussed out in the courtroom. We got victims missing and more. Shout out to everybody. The breakfast crew is in the building. Ebony, Kobe One, Shinobi, Melody, and the rest of the gang is all here. If you want to join us, it's 7:30 a.m. every morning on Monday through Friday. You can join us for the Flow Show No Filter. And if you don't catch us exactly at that time, don't worry, because it's on Apple and Spotify all day, every day. And also on YouTube and Facebook all day, every day. Flow Daddy Flow is the name. Podcasting is the game, and I don't take no shit. Now that we got all that out the way, y'all, how's everybody feeling this morning? Good morning, C-Tuck. Good morning, Angie. Good morning to the breakfast crew. Glad to see everybody in the building. And like I said, always, shout out to all my Apple and Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok family. We got a good one today, y'all. But I think y'all like when I start off with the tea a little bit before I get into the X's and O's of what's going on exactly in the courtroom. So without further ado, like I said, I ain't got no story. I'm going to get right into it today because we got a lot to talk about and I don't want to run out of time. So let's get started on this part first. Before we get into Diddy's lawyer getting cussed out by the judge yesterday for the lawyer doing something dumb. Let's talk about victim number 3. Victim number 3, y'all, is missing. Victim number 3 is one of the key, crucial victims in this case. They tried to call her. They tried to call her lawyer. And the prosecution has yet to be able to locate victim number 3. Now, we know victim number 1 is Cassie. I already told y'all who I believe victim number 2 is, because victim number 2 is the one that got dangled over the balcony. And there's only one case that we know of, that I know of, where Diddy allegedly dangled her over the balcony, and that was the fashion design person. Can't remember her name off the top of my head, but we talked about it on this show numerous times. So if you've been tuned into the show, you know that victim number 2, who we believe is that fashion design lady. But victim number 3, also I did a show on victim number 3, who I believe it is, and pretty much after I did that, I guess everybody started doing their digging, and we are really, like, I would say 80 to 90% sure who victim number 3 is. And she's missing. She's an ex-girlfriend that was around the time, Diddy's ex-girlfriend was around the time with Cassie when he was on and off. This young lady was somebody who was basically claiming the same type of things as Cassie. And now she's missing. And you know me, I did some digging on it, so we about to cover it. But first, Let me give you a little background on who I believe victim number 3 is, and I'm about as sure as anything I've ever told y'all on this one. Because the things that they say in the indictment paperwork that victim number 3 is claiming, the same person, Gina Gina Hun, or I can't pronounce her last name. Gina claimed the same type of things as far back as 2019. So if we are to believe victim number 3, and I'm gonna give you more reasons why I believe even more now that she's victim number 3, because stuff ain't adding up. And I'm gonna get to the part that's not adding up, but let me give you a little context of who I believe victim number 3 is, who's missing, what she's been through, allegedly. This article comes from page 6. Y'all know I'll be doing some digging. November 17th, 2023, I believe. Yep, 2023. It's titled Sean Diddy Combs' his ex, Gina Hun, once claimed he stumped her stomach and dragged her by the hair. Now, another thing she claimed before we get into the article is he forced deleting their child. He forced that on her to get rid of it. And we have similar accusations in the indictment paperwork where Diddy forced medical procedures, which could possibly be getting rid of your baby. And, of course, the stomping and the same words that this person used are the same words in the indictment paperwork. I read I read the paperwork. A lot of people don't read the actual paperwork. They just live in the comments. And so they say stuff that if you just read the indictment paperwork, which is public record for everybody to read, you have a little bit more knowledge. Or listen to my show. Get off social media and turn on the Flow Show No Filter. Let's get into this. Sean Diddy Combs' ex, Gina Hun, once claimed the rapper stumped her stomach, punched her in the head during a 5-year relationship. If you go back and remember that Diddy's lawyers has said these victims are a collection of ex-girlfriends that Diddy took care of that were all consensual. Well, here's one that he was in a relationship for 5 years. You can't tell me this ain't victim number 3. And like I said, I got more info for you after I give you a little background. Gina goes by the name Virginia V, leveled allegations in a 2019 interview that has resurfaced ever since the Cassie thing came about. And I quote, "He stumped me on my stomach really hard. He took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe. He kept hitting me. I was pleading to him, 'Can you stop? I can't breathe.'" Gina went on to claim that he grabbed her by her hair and was punching her in the back of the head, making sure he didn't hit her in the face. So this allegedly seems like Diddy was a professional domestic violence person, where it's like, okay, I can bang you on your head all I want. As long as I don't hit your face and leave you bruised, I'm all good. But let me continue. She said eventually she started fighting back. Now, Gina's relationship with Diddy began when he was on again, off again with Cassie. So it was like a love triangle, a dangerous love triangle. And I quote Gina, she says, "He was mentally and emotionally and physically abusing me. He would always compare me to Cassie and tell me that I'm the bad one and she's the good one." She recalled adding that everyone around Diddy allowed the alleged abuse to occur. Elsewhere in a 3-part interview, the influencer claimed that Sean Diddy Combs paid her $5,000 to get rid of their baby. That could be considered coercion, because she had became pregnant, of course. She says, "I turned the money down because I just loved him. I wanted to, I was trying to prove that I loved him." I wasn't the girl who wanted him for money. I just cared about him and wanted him to be nice to me. That's it. Diddy never responded to these allegations. Now that I gave you a little background, now let's get into if this is victim number 3, why it's not adding up and why nobody else, I don't know why everybody else is talking about this, but y'all know they can't do it like me. They don't research like me. They don't recall all this stuff. I recall all of this stuff. So soon something don't sound right, I don't report, I recall. It's a difference. And so now let's fast forward. Around April 4th, April 5th, the superseding indictment came out, and that's when all type of attention focused on these extra victims. I believe it's victim number 3. It may be a victim number 4. Don't quote me on that right now. I'm not in the paperwork. So let's just focus on victim number 3. More victims came out in this superseding indictment. And that was around April 4th, the week of April 4th. Check this out, y'all. I did some digging. I looked at Gina's social media accounts, right? Instagram and Facebook. And I noticed something. I noticed that she has her Instagram and Facebook linked together much like I do. And when I say linked together, I mean that when I post something on Facebook, it automatically posts on Instagram. So I looked at her Instagram and Facebook, and guess what I noticed, y'all? After we heard she's missing, and victim number 3 is missing, we don't quite know who it is, but I'm damn near positive this is her. Check this out. Her last post, and this is an influencer. She's an influencer. She posts on social media. Matter of fact, she posts on Twitter and everywhere. And I got more background I got to give you, but I got to give you this part now so you can understand how crazy this is. The last time she posted on social media was April 17th. Basically a week or 2, not even 2, let's just say a week, 7 to 10 days after the superseding indictment came out, listing her as a new or as an alleged victim. Ladies and gentlemen of the Flow Show No Filter, it is May 7th. And Gina Hun, who has allegedly been through the same stuff as Cassie, she has not posted on Instagram or Facebook since April 17th. Coincidence? I think not. Why is she not posting? What is she waiting on? Like what she posts consistently all the way up until April 17th. And now all of a sudden, no Facebook or Instagram posts whatsoever. She has completely disappeared off of social media. Now, something else that's strange about this particular witness, or not even strange, but I've watched her situation closely, and she appeared out of all the girlfriends that Diddy had that are claiming this or have been through things with Diddy. She is the one that, let's just say, and I want to be careful with my words because I don't want to disrespect her in any kind of way or any woman out there that's been through this type of stuff. But we all know sometimes it's that one that no matter how foul the individual is to them, they are kind of still chasing that love. They're still, that's the one that victimizer or whatever you want to call the Diddy or whoever that does these type of things to women. He had kind of like a permanent hold on her, meaning even after all of these allegations, she still Diddy kind of had her in his web, and I'm gonna explain why and how I say that. You remember a young lady rapper by the name of Young Miami? You remember that Young Miami was in a relationship with Diddy. It was very public. They were running around. Young Miami and Diddy. They were on a Diddy put a show on Carisha with Young Miami, and they had a relationship. It was public. This ain't no speculation. We all saw it if you were there. Okay, and the Young Miami relationship with Diddy was in the past 2 years. It was like actually literally right before all of this Cassie and all of this stuff came out about Diddy. Young Miami and Diddy were in a relationship. Well, while Young Miami and Diddy were in that relationship, Young Miami and Gina Hun were publicly beefing. And Gina and other people kind of called Young Miami Diddy's quote unquote enforcer as far as the women. Young Miami would call chicks and women, I should say, and tell them to get aboard, get rid of babies, or tell them to drop lawsuits, or just intimidate them in any kind of way. She was like Diddy's, I don't know, madam, for all my pimps out there who know about the pimp world or whatever. It was like she was the madam. And I'm gonna give you some examples of their public dispute to show you the dynamic that we got going on here. Gina would fire. Young Miami, let's say, would throw subliminals to Gina during her relationship with Diddy. And one time, Gina fired back on her Instagram and said, "Bitches be something to the effect of bitches be claiming a man all by the same time he got another woman pregnant." She posted that. Anybody can go, if you do a little research, you can see the post. She posted that in her story. That infuriated Young Miami amongst all the other back and forths that they had. But then Miami tweeted something that the whole world saw. And it's one of the tweets that actually did not age well for Young Miami Diddy. And let me pull it up right here. Young Miami tweeted, and I quote, this was 10:58 p.m., December 13th, 2022. Young Miami tweeted, and I quote, this was a subliminal to Gina. "If I wanted you to eat my poom poom," and I'm making up different words, "Diddy would have had you on your knees. Bitch, you are a eater." Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Let me break that down for you. In other words, whatever Diddy wants you to do, you gonna do. So shut up. And if we tie it to the freak offs, she's saying if Diddy told you to eat me, you would do it and you'd be on your knees. Very disrespectful, but also very telling to all my people out there that have common sense. See, my community is built on people who are very intelligent and have common sense. I'm not telling anybody anything that you can't understand or put your own context clues together and understand what the dynamic is. If she's saying this in 2022, Gina made those allegations in 19. That means Diddy had Gina back Gina back in his web. And Gina is not Cassie. Everybody is different. That's why I say I want to be careful with my words, because I'm not trying. It's not. We all it takes us a different amount of time to get to the point where we are done with foul shit. And so as we look at Cassie, she was done with Diddy and moved on and didn't once she was done with him, she was done. But Gina, if we read the tea leaves, it's the exact opposite for her. See, we have proof of they in an on again, off again relationship. We have proof that she came forward with allegations, and we also have proof that she was back in Diddy's or Diddy was back in her good graces after that. So she's been flip-flopping this whole time. So now that I gave y'all all the context, let's fast forward to now. If she is victim number 3, like I strongly believe, because of all the reasons I laid out to you, did Diddy get a word to her through Young Miami to cut the shit? Did Diddy get a word to her by any kind of, through anybody, to make her disappear, to say, hey, go off the grid, don't be a victim, I love you, baby. You know how it goes. Please do this for me, and when I beat this case, we gonna be together forever. And then now she's disappeared, not answering the prosecution's call, not answering, the lawyer's not even answering. Since when a person's personal lawyer don't answer the phone? Strange stuff, to the point where the lawyer, the judge in this case is putting pressure on. Here's the article from TMZ. Diddy's prosecutors are under pressure to get testimony from alleged victim number 3. Let's go into this real quick. Make sure y'all subscribe. You're not getting none of this anywhere else. And as a matter of fact, remember I told y'all, heads up, tomorrow will be subscriber only episode. Because I got way more to dig into deep, and it's going to get hot. So I told you already, just giving a reminder, if you're not a subscriber, you go kind of miss out tomorrow. But you know what it is. So anyway, check it out. TMZ says federal prosecutors are under pressure relating to one of their star witnesses in the Diddy trial. Because they revealed in court today they may not be bringing an alleged victim into the courtroom to testify. The alleged victim in question is a woman, and feds revealed Monday the woman does not live close to New York City. This is where the trial is being held. Now, I can't say for sure where she lived, where this young lady lived, because she's actually from a small town. So I don't know if she's still living in her small town, or she's in Miami, or if she's in LA. But every place that she's been known to live is quite a distance from New York. The alleged victim in question is a woman that feds revealed Monday doesn't live close to New York City. And they say she's told the court she might not even show up despite being subpoenaed. Prosecutor claimed they are having difficulty contacting the woman and her attorney. And the judge asked the lead prosecutor if the prosecution planned to drop the woman's name in opening statements. Comey, which is a prosecutor, told the prosecution, said that the prosecution would not be getting into the woman's story until the second part of the trial. And during opening statements, the woman would be described as one of the many women who have allegedly been abused and sexually exploited by Mohawk Diddy. Crazy stuff. And I say again, the superseding indictment that came out the week of April 4th, that named this victim number 3 and went into detail. The same victim, I believe it is, Gina, who is a public ex-girlfriend of Diddy's, has not been seen on social media since April 17th. To the young folks out there, or to all the influencers, or even let's even go to me. If y'all hadn't heard from me on social media since April 17th, what would y'all think? I'm an influencer. Social media is my arena, much like Gina's arena. If you look her up, she's listed as an influencer. She posts a lot of stuff, a lot of different stuff. She posts different promoting businesses for people. She posts her own selfies. She does the same thing that most of the attractive female influencers do. She's a very attractive young lady. So if y'all didn't, if the last time y'all saw me post on April 17th and y'all never seen nothing else from me, and it's, what is it, May 7th, what would y'all think? Would that make sense? And so victim number 3, whoever it is, I believe strongly is Gina. And ever since I dropped all the information, most of the internet agrees with me and is running around saying the same thing. They can't contact her. They can't get in touch with her. Did Diddy threaten her? Did Diddy threaten her? Did he use love? If he did this? This is all alleged. But if this has something to do with Mohawk Diddy, did he get a word to Gina to just disappear? Did he pay her off? Did he threaten her? Did he have Young Miami? Because let's go back to the list of the questionnaire that the jurors heard of all these different celebrities' names. Do y'all know one name that I already talked about today that was on that list? Was Young Miami. What has Young Miami done? Is she just a witness? Is she a co-conspirator who has flipped? Because we know that they claim that Young Miami used to get the rugs with a D for Diddy. They called it the pink cocaine, the Tootsie. Like Monique said, she's probably terrified. I believe it, because if you know Gina, and after this episode, I encourage you to do your own research and Google and search Gina Hun. That last name is hard for me to I don't know how to pronounce it, but if you search it and you don't just listen to her horrific Diddy stories, listen to her talk about her parents and like kind of where she came from and how she was raised. And you can read between the lines. And she is definitely a woman that you feel like would be more scared than, let's say, a Young Miami or somebody who may come from an environment where they're used to dealing with vultures and used to dealing with goons. She comes from a background where you would believe she would be kind of timid, easily frightened. And so when you add it all up, it makes too much sense, and I don't like it, y'all. Now, again, you're not going to get all this breakdown from everybody else. You're just going to hear them say, victim number 3 is missing, comes from TMZ, blah, blah, blah. That's all. But all the backstory and the possibilities, that's what I do. And I got a very high conversion rate to when I'm right. I feel strong. I feel just as strong about this prediction as any other one I've ever had. And like I said, what really adds validity to what I'm saying is the fact that she hasn't posted since April 17th. I want to be wrong. Like I want her to post. I want her to post, and then I can say, okay, well, it's not her. She's not posted. She has not posted on social media since April 17th. An influencer. During the trial of the century of an ex that she's been with, that is on the cusp of being held accountable. And if she posted all the way up until April 17th, what happened? So to the community out there, after this episode or whenever you have time, let's find Gina. See if she posts. See if you can find anything after April 17th that shows she even exists. She probably is scared as hell. Diddy probably got word to, once he found out that she was in this paperwork, he knew who it was. Once they described what victim number 3, what happened and the time frame, the time duration, I believe it was like 2019 to whatever. I don't have it right in front of me, so don't quote me, but it was right. The things that happened to victim 3 was right in the time frame of when Diddy was with Gina. So when he got that paperwork, think about it. It may have took him a week or so to get in contact with her, if this is the case. And then she just disappeared. And if he was able to pay her $5,000 to get rid of babies and this and that, times are tough. Because she could have been scared as hell, or he could have had some sneaky way of getting some money to her. He could have had somebody say, hey, give her $50,000 and tell her to get lost. And $50,000 should cover it. Maybe $100,000. I don't know. Where is victim number 3? And now that we got that out the way, let's go to the particulars. Let's go to the particulars of what went on in the courtroom, all the updates. And let's start with who got cussed out yesterday. It's so much to cover, so I can't really go too far into some of these details of some of this stuff just for time reasons, but I'm going to give y'all as much as I can. Let's go to who the judge cussed out first. It's so much to talk about, y'all. This episode could be 2 hours easily. Okay, so this comes from the New York Post. Calvin, they're doing the jury selection right now. The official opening arguments and opening statements start this Monday. But right now they're doing jury selection, and this trial is so crazy. The jury selection is crazy. We getting celebrities' name. We knowing about victims are missing. Diddy's lawyer getting cussed out. So let me get into that. Okay, this comes from the New York Post. In New York Post, y'all need to quit with all these pop-ups on y'all website. Y'all looking like a low-budget publication, man. I open up New York Post, and I got 50 million pop-ups. Come on, New York Post, do better. Y'all supposed to be one of the big dogs. Y'all got pop-ups like, those corn sites or something. I don't know. So anyway, Diddy's lawyer slammed by judge for calling the prosecutors a six-pack of white women. If you recall yesterday, I told y'all that all 6 of the prosecutors prosecuting Diddy are white women. What does that mean? Like I told you yesterday, I don't know. But I figured it was something y'all need to know. And here we are. Lo and behold, somebody already getting cussed out about it. I told y'all everything. One thing I try to make sure I do on the Flow Show No Filter, I try to make sure every bit of information I give y'all is relevant. Y'all see all these people who do clickbait and just talk about and say stuff that has no relevance just because it sounds juicy. And I feel so bad because so many people be believing certain posts and certain people, and it's like they're literally just making up crap to get clicks and views. No validity, no context. It's not true whatsoever, but people are so thirsty for clicks and views, they'll say anything. I saw something saying Oprah has been arrested concerning the Diddy trial, and they really posted this shit. And I really see people in the comments like, yeah, that's what she gets. And I'm like, y'all, this shit ain't true at all. And I feel bad as being a part of the media that people go that hard and manipulate and trick the common people just for clicks and views. It's sad. I don't ever do that. Everything I bring you has some type of validity to it, or it's factual, or it comes from an article or something. I don't just get up here and say shit for shock value. But see, when you're not good at what you do, you got to do all those tricks and clickbaity shit. See, they gonna tune in to me because I'm just fucking good at what I do. I don't have to make up shit. I tell people all the time, if I was up here making up shit, I could make up something way better than this. I'm a great storyteller. If I'm gonna make up something, I'm gonna make up something. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. But Diddy's lawyer slammed for calling the prosecutors a six-pack of white women. The judge goes on to say the judge overseeing Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial ripped a member of Combs' family legal team Tuesday after the lawyer griped on his podcast about the all-female team of prosecutors in this case. I need all the white women out there to listen closely. This lawyer right here came for y'all, and it ain't right. And the judge got into him for it too. The judge said, this is ridiculous. He said this Tuesday during a behind closed door dress down of Mark Geragos. Mark Geragos represents Combs' mother and has been seen huddling with the lawyers of Diddy. Geragos drew the judges. I'm gonna just say it like this: Geragos pissed the judge off for calling the prosecution team a six-pack of white women on a recent episode of a podcast he hosts with TMZ founder Harvey Levin. So he on there with Harvey Levin, and they talking about the case, and he's so comfortable. He's so comfortable with just disrespecting women, which is what you're getting from Diddy's side, a lot of disrespect. Then I call it out. Then I got the same creeps in my comments talking about, oh man, you guys be man, you need to be, man, shut the hell up. Me calling out pervs and creeps ain't gossiping. When you talking about sexual assault and taking people's sexual being all of that ain't gossip, bruh. And you actually outing yourself as being a creep yourself. So anyway, he's on this podcast with the TMZ guy, and he's so comfortable to just call these women who over here just doing their job as a prosecutor a six-pack of white women. Would he have did that if it was six white men? For that case, if it was six black men. I would even venture to say he wouldn't even said that if it was six black women, because he know all hell would have broke loose. But since it's all women, he just on there talking shit. Like, I can't believe that the court put together a six-pack of white women. The judge said, man, I think referring to the prosecution in this case as a six-pack of white women is outrageous. Goes on to say, this would not be tolerated in any court from any lawyer anywhere across the motherfucking nation. And he didn't say motherfucking, but he said everything else. I added in a little no filter. Because I like I said, a lot of times I like to put in there and say what I know he wanted to say. But he can't say it because he a judge. But guess who ain't a judge? My ass. I'm a podcaster. I can say what the fuck I feel. I am not a professional. I'm just good. Garagos disclosed during the meeting that Combs, to whom he says speaks with great frequency, believes he's being targeted because he's black. He goes on to say, I think when you've got a black man who's being prosecuted and the client feels like he's being targeted, it's an observation. The lawyers representing Combs, including Mark Agnifilio and Tina Garagos, have agreed not to argue that he was targeted by a selective prosecution because he's black, or bring up prominent white people who have hired as sex workers and not being charged with the crimes. Now let me break that down. Because if you have been following this show, you will recall that I said Diddy using the claim that he is being targeted because he's black with all of these egregious, outrageous claims. If you remember me, I told you that was a dumb defense. I told you that months ago when Diddy came with that. And I also told you that when his lawyers, Mac Agnifilio, went on that TMZ show and said that he's being targeted because he's black, I said that minute, that's a horrible defense because these charges are too egregious. You could be a fucking green guy. You could be the color of my bandana, green, and your ass would still be locked the fuck up waiting for trial when you got racketeering, conspiracy, arson, sex trafficking. Bruh, that ain't targeting you because you black. People know I stand up for my people all the time. I've went to Mississippi and took out the goon squad of cops who were unaliving and torturing black men as a hobby. And they were getting away with it until your boy Flo came along and made the shit go viral. And then I took my ass into the middle of Jackson, Mississippi, into a little ass library. We called a press conference, had all the news outlets there. Ain't even the news outlets were shocking at what they were hearing. These black men were waterboarded. These cops put dildos up they behind. And I stood right there. If you follow me on social media, this is the one where you see I'm on the news, and the news started off with my quote. I said, "We all know what justice looks like. This ain't it. So can't nobody tell me about standing up for anybody. We didn't even have security. Some guy came in the library with a damn Power Ranger outfit on. I was scared of the motherfucker. I said, who the fuck is that to myself? And I was asking the people we with, who is this motherfucker with this Power Ranger outfit on with the whole mask? I don't even know who he is, what he is. And nobody else was paying him no attention. I said, did he get sent to come take me out? Then this same Power Ranger comes up to me, and I felt bad because him and his guardian, I mean, he turned out to be like a 24, 25-year-old person. I felt bad because he was kind of like a challenge in a way. And as they walked up to me, I said, oh, shit. And the lady said, hey, we big fans. He wanted to see you in person, blah, blah, blah. I was so relieved, y'all. I thought that Power Ranger was about to flip me on my fucking head or pull out something and do something to me. But I tell that story to say, unless you done went in the middle of Jackson, Mississippi to call out 6 cops who had been doing all kind of stuff to black men, I don't want to, you can't tell me about standing up for nobody. And all mine is documented. You got video footage of it. Go check it out. I was the one stood next to there and we said, as we told these reporters all this wild stuff that was going on. And we said, and guess what, y'all? They still right down the street working. Guess what? They had been getting away with it for damn near 2 years. After that press conference, their ass was fired that Monday morning. And after they got fired, they got charged. And after they got charged, they got indicted. And after they got indicted, they got 200 years plus a record-breaking takedown for your boy Flo. Look it up. It's called the Goon Squad. They locked up to this day. So I more than got the right to call out BS if you using it for BS reasons, because I done put my life on the line. That may be the scariest shit. I called my boy the minute I got out of Jackson, Mississippi, and said, man, I'm glad that's over with. This probably was, to be honest, the scariest moment in this journey, because after calling out these cops, I didn't know if me showing up in Jackson, Mississippi, if they was going to have something waiting for me. But like I told y'all, I'm not scared. God gave me this platform, so I'm trusting in God to make sure I'm all right as long as I'm doing the right thing with it. So when I speak on shit, I got my stars and stripes to speak on it. And so getting back to the Diddy case, when he tried to say that he's being targeted for because he's a black man, I told y'all that was a horrible defense. And guess what? I told y'all that it came from Diddy, didn't come from his lawyers. And now we can fast forward to what I just said. Now even Mark Agnifilio and the team is saying we're not going to use that as a defense. If I ain't good, it ain't a such damn thing. And the good thing about it, I've been having people on this journey with me since the very beginning, since it was almost 3 years ago when this started. 2.5 years, something like that. And so everything I'm telling y'all is people that will back it up and say, yep, I was there. I saw Flo do that. Yep, I was there. I remember when Flo said that defense was horrible. And I remember when Flo said that wasn't coming from the lawyer. That was coming from Diddy. Because, see, I know how the Diddy's move. I came from this game. See, this is the difference between these other reporters and everybody reporting on this shit. I am of this culture. I came from this. So I know way more than just what they reporting on paperwork. I know these guys. I told y'all when I met Diddy, I didn't like the way the motherfucker was looking at me. And I said that back then, before I even knew how much of a monster he was. I knew he would intimidate folks. I knew he would have folks beat up. I mean, he even told himself that when he was beefing with Tupac, if you played Tupac music, they can't. If you were a DJ and you played Tupac music, Diddy and his goons would come turn over your whole fucking DJ equipment and dare you to do something about it. So I knew that part of Diddy, but I didn't know how freaky he was. I had heard a little something, but I didn't know back in the day when I was running around in the industry. But I remember when I got introduced to Diddy, after I shook his hand and his handshake wasn't strong, and I didn't like the way he was looking at me, and I left. I didn't even continue the conversation. But I got friends and family that will corroborate, will know that after that day, I said, because I was a big Diddy fan. I said, man, I met Diddy. I said, but he was looking at me kind of weird. But I never went into no detail. Anyway, I was there. So that is why I got insight. I ain't just shooting from the hip, y'all. I've met with these people. I've met everybody in the industry. The only person I haven't met is Jay-Z and Beyonce and Eminem. Those are the only 3 people in the industry that are noteworthy or big time people. Those are the only 3 people I've never met. I've been in the same building. I've been in the same room as Jay-Z, Beyonce. Never even been in the same room as Eminem. I've never seen him in person any kind of way. But Jay-Z and Beyonce, we were at the Arturo Gotti when Floyd Mayweather fought Arturo Gotti. Jay-Z and Beyonce were sitting like a few rows, like next to me, maybe like 2 or 3 rows up from me. I watched them walk in. It was like seeing a ghost, because I never, when you see Beyonce in person, that's like seeing Michael Jackson. It didn't seem real. But outside of those, I know all the rest of them. I lived with Floyd Mayweather. I ran around with 50. And to this day, we still have relationships. Still got love for Floyd. We got our, we had our battles back in the day and this and that, Floyd Mayweather. But we were so close that our families are close. My sister is still cool with Floyd's sister. So how much can we really beef? So we're cool. My sister is still cool with Floyd's sister from back starting 2004. So how much can we really beef? That's how tied in we are. So I just say that to say I got a different perspective than 99% of the rest of the people covering this trial, which is why I'm able to call out stuff that most people don't know. And here's another example with this lawyer situation and them saying they're not going to use that stupid ass targeted as a black man because these charges are too serious to try to use that as an excuse. Ain't no juror going for hearing all that, seeing you beat the hell out of Cassie on video and say you being targeted because you a black man, and I'm seeing you in 4K beat the hell out of this woman who's a barely 80 pounds, 100 pounds. That ain't got nothing to do with a black man being a black man. Because I tell you this, if he was being targeted as a black man and I felt he was innocent, that's what the fuck I'd be up here saying. But it's just not the case. So for time reasons, let's get off of that. The judge cussing out him. Is a little more to that, but it is what it is. The judge handled it, and it also goes back to what I told y'all. The judge has grown sick of this defense, and the judge is going to make sure he let everybody know he run this motherfucker. They're going to be in that courtroom saying, who run this motherfucker? The judge going to say, I run this motherfucker. But he going to say it in the way the judge say it. He going to use words like outrageous. And terrible and disappointed. But we know when we read between the lines, he is done with this cocky, arrogant, narcissistic approach to defense, and he not going for it, which is why he took something that this lawyer said on a podcast and ripped him a new one about it. He basically saying, go play with your kids. Don't play with me. And I like it. Because if I was a judge, I'd be holding everybody in fucking contempt. You in contempt. Man, y'all motherfuckers y'all not gonna play with me. They would never, you never want to see Flo on the judge. Y'all never want to see me be no judge. Whole fucking courtroom be locked up on day one. Yeah, let me because people want to ask about that because y'all know I try not to talk a lot about me. I try to focus on the cases, but y'all do be having a lot of questions about me. And so I'll answer this question, but I'm not here. I don't want to take up too much time talking about me. I just like to give y'all some context because some of y'all don't really quite even know who y'all listening to. Y'all don't know how much in the loop I am. And so Sherry says, you rubbing elbows with all them people, they never tried to bring you into that circle. Yeah, Sherry, you must not have been following my story, but I spoke about that. Yeah, they tried to bring me into that circle. And every time they tried, I would tell them to kick rocks with flip-flops and no socks. Till they finally cast my ass to the side, and I left the industry. The industry didn't leave me. I left. I put together the paperwork for Floyd to sign for me to kick rocks. I said, here, Floyd, I want to, go on my own. Here's a contract that will say for whatever money that was spent, you will be reimbursed from a record label, blah, blah, blah. I put that together as a young kid, had him sign it and got the fuck on. But yes, to answer your question, Sherry, and I'm not saying Floyd tried. So let me be clear. Me and Floyd's situation was just a matter of me wanting to be I was ready to be my own man and focus on my career. And I didn't feel like Floyd, and he wasn't focusing on mine. He was focused on his, which, you know, he was in the middle of his prime in boxing. What you expect? But at the same time, I got to do what's best for me. So I always want to be clear with that. I don't want nobody to be thinking I said Floyd tried to do some weird shit or not. No, not at all. But when I was at my time with Floyd, by me being with the top boxer of all time and running around with 50, and 50 was in his prime, they was the top of the top. So any celebrity under that was trying to get at me. They invited me to them weird Interscope parties, but I don't like that type shit, so I never went. And so the industry quickly learned that I wasn't down with that shit. And then what they do is they go from everybody kissing your ass and everybody telling you the best thing since sliced bread. And then once they try to do some weird shit or insinuate some weird shit, once you let them know, oh, I ain't going for that. Once you do that, then it turns into everybody giving you the cold shoulder. They try to make you feel bad for standing 10 toes. But see, when you give me the cold shoulder, I just get the fuck on. I don't care about that. Nobody can control me. Money don't control me. Fame don't control me. My character controls me. My dignity controls me. My morals control me. The fact that my son watching control me. And so that's what saved me from being a victim of somebody trying to look at this young man and say he was talented. Y'all, I wrote songs for artists that all y'all know. Interscope would use me to help put albums together to pick the best songs for certain artists. One artist in particular, Bone Thugs and Harmony. When they dropped the album, I was in a meeting with, I ain't even gonna say who, and he had me pick the songs of what I thought should go on the album. I could go on and on, but I won't, because this ain't about me. I'm just giving y'all some background. But they take talented kids like me who just want to work hard and be in the industry, try to give you a little something. And once they give you a little fame or a little taste of it, then here come the weird shit. But the difference between me and most of the black kids, and not just black kids, I ain't gonna say that because it's not about race. It's really about if you come from a background where your mother, if you don't have a father, or your family can be ran over and they can kind of take you away from your family, that's who they look for. And so when you're black, and this is when the race comes in a little bit. When you black and they fly you out and they wine and dine you, they assume you coming from a single parent household and your mama just gonna be happy that you on. But see, when they didn't know with me, they were dealing with a child that was raised by two parents who loved the shit out of him and a family who loved the shit out of him. And so you couldn't coerce me into none of that shit. I came from love. So if you're not here to promote my music and stick to the business, then I'm gone. And I'm going to stop on that. I'm going to get back to Diddy and I'm going to end on this. And when I left the industry on my own, I always would have friends that would say, do you regret it? Or don't you regret it? You was here. You was doing this. You was doing that. And they would tell you, and anybody would tell you, my answer was always an emphatic fuck no. I ain't never regretted for a half a minute. I ain't never regretted for a half a minute. And to show you that God don't make mistakes, damn near 15 years later, he puts me in a position to cover the downfall of Hollyweird. He didn't give me the platform, and he didn't give me the notoriety and the success that I wanted at the time I wanted it, because that wasn't my calling. But he know that I walked away from it because of my morals, because of who I am. And 15 to 20 years later, he rewards me with giving me the best platform and the best community that somebody could ever ask for. And ironically, it involves me calling out and covering the same industry that tried that bullshit on me, but it didn't work because I ain't going. So let me get back to Diddy. So we covered the judge cussing out the Diddy's lawyer. Another thing that's important to judge, and we going over time right now, but I can't leave today's show without covering that Diddy's new lawyer is a black woman who actually survived sexual assault back in 2001. I can't leave the show without covering that. So we just going over time today. So Diddy lawyer says, this is from TMZ. Diddy, new lawyer says she survived sexual assault. The newest lawyer on Diddy's team is a survivor of sexual assault, and she was allegedly raped back in 2001. The powerhouse attorney who officially joined Diddy's team this morning, which would have been yesterday morning, was just 19 years old back in 2001 when she worked for a company that helped people reinstate suspended driver's licenses. According to Westmoreland, and that's her name, Brian Williams, vice president of Cash Money Records, and a man named Stone met her and asked her to make a sales pitch to the company at Patchwork Recording Studio in Atlanta. And y'all, I recorded at Patchwork Studio. Patchwork Studio is one of the staples of Atlanta. Everybody who's anybody has recorded in Patchwork Studio, including little old me. I used to hang out at Patchwork Studio. Matter of fact, I think one of the people I've done stuff with up there was Jazzy Faye. A lot of y'all might know Jazzy Faye. Anyway, one night, Westmoreland says she and 3 females went to the recording studio where a large gathering was taking place. According to Westmoreland, a man named Alfred Cleveland, why his name got to be Cleveland, was there, and she says he was a friend of Ronald Williams. That was then President Brian's brother. That was the president of Cash Money, whatever. That was his brother. And that's when the assault allegedly took place. And so this is a lawyer that Diddy has brought on to the team. Now, my theory of why Diddy's team brought on this black woman who is a victim of sexual assault, because people would say, well, why would somebody who was a victim, why would Diddy put her on the team to defend and call out alleged victims? Well, let me explain to you what my reason is, or what this means and why he would do it. See, if you want to poke holes and cross-examine aggressively, if you want to cross-examine a victim who is claiming SA and sexual abuse, then you probably gonna want to use somebody who is actually a victim, because you won't take it as bad or as much disrespect if it's coming from someone who is a documented victim. Also, if a person who is actually a documented victim that we all know has been an SA victim, one would believe that if there's anybody who knows if somebody's lying or somebody who can poke holes in an alleged victim's story, it would be someone who is a victim. Now, is that the reason Diddy is doing it? I don't know. That's just what I would think. That, to me, that makes sense as far as if you're thinking from Diddy's side and his legal team side. To me, that's one of the only reasons why it would make sense to have a victim be your lawyer. So that's something to pay attention to. And now, I always kind of try to stay ahead of the game. I think when they cross-examine these alleged victims, like let's say Cassie or victim number 3 if she ever shows up, or victim number 2. I think they're going to use this black woman, Westmoreland, who is a victim herself. I think they're going to use her to do the heavy lifting. I think they realize having men do it might not be a great idea. Because if you got men up there screaming and questioning victims, it ain't going to look good. And it might turn the jury off. But if you have someone who is a known victim, it might not land quite as hard or as bad. Something to pay attention to. One more thing, like I said, it's so much, y'all. We could be here all day. Yesterday was crazy. Also, another big development yesterday. The potential jurors were actually asked about SA, and several of the jurors referenced that video. So it says, this comes from USA Today. Potential jurors asked about SA, and they referenced several violent videos. Potential jurors were questioned for a second day in the Sean Diddy case. On May 6th, jurors were repeatedly asked if they or a family member or a friend had been a victim of SA, sexual harassment, or domestic violence, and whether they or a loved one had been charged or accused of such crimes. One question was particularly interesting for some. Have you communicated to others? Or have you liked any social media posts about Mr. Combs? If so, when and where did you post, and what was your opinion? As the case continues, prosecutors also ask potential jurors about their feelings on law enforcement, on experiences that they may or may not have had. Now, the defense team proposed a questionnaire also suggested that they want to know if jurors are open-minded. And what do they want to know? Are they open-minded about? They want to know, are they open-minded about alternative sexual lifestyles? Jurors have also been questioned one by one by the judge, Aaron Subramanian. The prosecution and the defense are determined whether they're qualified to serve on Combs' jury. Now, a judge previously rejected a request from the rapper's legal team to delay the start of a trial. We already know that. By the end of the court proceedings on May 6th, prospective jurors have faced questions, with 16 moving forward in the process, including 10 men and 6 women. Their ages are 38 to 87. We got an 87-year-old potential juror. Their occupations include an American Airlines pilot, social worker, kitchen designer, physician, assistant, and more. 3 of them mentioned that they like hip hop. Some in the group say they get their news from the New York Times and the NBC, and other people said they get their news from YouTube and other social media platforms. One of the jurors who faced the longest questionnaire was a man who told the court he had multiple run-ins with police in his early teens and 20s, and described that he was a victim of stop and frisk incidents and one incident of assaulting a police officer. Bad man. Prosecutor said the man could struggle to be unbiased after those negative appearances. I could see that. But the Combs defense argued that he's now 38 and has grown and changed. Now you can understand why the defense would want this guy. This guy, in their mind, has something against the system. Oh, they want him on the jury pool. And the judge ruled that he could move forward without bias towards police. So that was that potential juror being able to move forward, in my humble opinion, was a victory for Diddy. If you want to seem like you're being victimized by the system, you damn sure want somebody in the jury pool who has been victimized by the system in one way or the other. And it goes on to talk about other jurors. Some of them were dismissed over marijuana use, different things. But yesterday, I would say was a little bit better day for Diddy as far as juror selection. First day on Monday, I believe all those potential jurors were pretty much jurors that Diddy didn't want. That's why he was nervous and wanted to take bathroom breaks. But I think it's the judge's way of being fair, because the first day, if I was Diddy, I would have been scared as hell of the jurors who were selected, because they all seem like they are much against SA and would probably be against Diddy. But yesterday, it seems like the judge allowed a lot of potential jurors to make the cut who had run-ins with the law and back when they were younger and maybe, have disdain for the system a little bit. And he allowed those to go through. So in my humble opinion, I think it's the way of the judge to kind of even it out as far as the juror pool. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that. Several of the jurors referenced the Cassie video and how they didn't, what they felt about it and how it made them feel and different things and things of that nature. And after all that, we got 6 potential jurors selected to move forward in the Diddy trial, with more to come. And as we continue to dive in here into this story, we always got to thank the people that make this podcast possible. Without the subscribers, this podcast does not exist. A subscription minimum is $3. I do 20 episodes a month. That comes out to 15 cents an episode. 15 cents an episode for me to get up here and call out the powers that be, to stick my neck on the line every day and bring y'all the best possible content, the best possible information I can. I think I'm worth 15 cents an episode. Because like I said, if I need to go the other route and I need corporate sponsors because I can't eat, I had to change this to a sports podcast and talk about shit like how my Cavs had the ultimate choke job last night in the playoffs against the Pacers. I don't even want to talk about that. But anyway, let me thank these subscribers for saying like, hey, I'm not going to just sit back and watch this man stick his neck out for free. I'm going to support what he's doing. And I thank y'all for that. So number one, we got Judy D. Judy D. Judy D, thank you for keeping Truth alive and subscribing. I really appreciate you. Next we have April Hall. So April Hall and Judy D did a $3 subscription. If you want to subscribe, the link is in my YouTube captions. It's also in my Facebook description. And if you're listening to this on Apple and Spotify, it's in the show notes, either on your phone or wherever you're listening to it. And last but certainly not least, C Tuck is our subscriber of the day. Cleveland's finest. Shout out to C Tuck. Let's give everybody their flowers in the chat and thank everybody for subscribing and keeping Truth alive. And I want to tell y'all right now, I am raising money to go to the trial. I already told y'all I have access to the Diddy trial. And what I want to do is everybody who gives you could just do this one time. You give a one-time $20 donation. When I go to New York, you will have access to exactly what's going on. I will have a special link for everybody. So if you do that, when you subscribe, if you do the one, you can do $20. You don't have to do it every month. Just one $20 one. I will take your email and put you in the VIP list or whatever you want to call it, where y'all will get up to the minute stuff of what's going on at actually in New York. And what I need you to do is get the $20 subscription, because I don't want to do GoFundMe and all that. I think I could just do it straight through the subscription. It's simpler for everybody. So do the $20 subscription and just put Diddy trial. Just put Diddy trial VIP or something like that. But when I see the $20 subscription come through, I will automatically put your email in the list, and you guys will have exclusive access to everything that goes on when I'm in New York. I plan on being there for 2 or 3 days and going inside the courtroom. My man Dennis is already there. I talked to him yesterday. He was inside the courtroom talking about he ain't allowed to text. And so I was like, okay, I won't text you. I won't text you no more. So I'm excited about that. And I thought about different ways to raise money and things I could do for my subscribers or my supporters. I think the easiest way to do is everybody who wants to have access to that, whether it's footage, whether it's real time, what's going on, whether I'm outside the courtroom or whatever I'm doing, or outside the courthouse. I'll put your email in the thing and give you a special link, and you'll have video and audio of everything going on as I do my trip. So that is how I'm going to raise money. Again, if you want to be a part of that, do a $20. You could just do it one time. You don't have to do it every month. Well, one-time $20 subscription. Put Diddy trial next to your name, and I'll put you in the database. I'm excited. I'm excited to put my eyes on Diddy, because everybody, we all saying like we getting all these cartoon pictures and all that. I want to see for myself, and I want to report immediately to y'all. Hey, y'all, I seen Mohawk Diddy. He is in the fucking courtroom. I will be there. So I appreciate everybody. I think I killed it today. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Ain't nothing else to say but bye. Oh, one last thing. If you have problem accessing the exclusive content on your Apple phone or your device, please email buzzsprout@support.com. They will get you together. They have anybody that's had an issue, they got them together immediately. I meant to say that yesterday, and so I made sure I said it today. But other than that, I love y'all, but I am out. Boom, boom. Another one bites the dust. Damn it. Another one bites the dust. So as we get Spotify and Apple loaded up, thank you, Rastafari. Yeah, I kind of get into it all. I'm kind of the king of the breakdowns. I'm glad you could join us. Right now is the part of the show where I just kick it with y'all, talk, and get Apple and Spotify loaded up and ready to go, so they can hear the show and know what's going on. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm getting Apple and Spotify loaded the fuck up. Today is the 7th, right? Is today the 7th? Yes, it is. All right, Apple and Spotify is loading. Questions, comments, concerns, super chats. Y'all got some super chats for me? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where the likes at, y'all? Let's get the likes up, man. We got 73 people in here. I need the likes. Likes are free. Likes don't cost you anything, and they do a lot for me. So please, we got 75 people in right here right now. We need 75 likes. Please give me the likes and share this live. Is the devil worshiping stuff they say being done true? I will say this. I never witnessed it, but there are definitely people who practice, like, they believe in all that sorcery and witchery and stuff like that. So I can't say I saw it personally, but I do know people in the industry do believe in that weird stuff. Yeah, Sherry. I'm already, hey, look, I'm not trying to I ain't trying to brag, Sherry, but I'm already famous. I can't go nowhere pretty much on this planet, but especially the United States of America. I can't go nowhere without being recognized. I have 1 million people view my content every day, and it's been like that for the past year. So I can't go nowhere without being spotted. If you look on my page, I put a couple of my fan interactions where they saw me and spotted me, and I don't even hardly go anywhere. But when I do go out, every time fans spot me. So it feels good that I'm noticed, and I'm one of the most recognized new faces in media, period. So I'm already famous. But hey, it's nowhere. I'm getting more and more famous by the day, though. So hey, it is what it is. Y'all got my back. I ain't worried. Whoa, what happened? I don't know what happened, y'all. Yo, can y'all hear me? I think the Wi-Fi. I think the Wi-Fi might be tripping. I think the Wi-Fi might be tripping, y'all, but we still here, getting Apple and Spotify loaded up. But yeah, I know y'all got my back. I ain't worried. But yeah, I'm definitely raising. Can you hear me or is it froze? Okay, loud and clear. See, somebody saying froze and somebody, okay, loud and clear. Um, I'm definitely raising money by subscription. It's just easier for everybody to just do the subscription than to try to do like a GoFundMe and all that, because the subscription is right there in the notes and it's direct to me and it gives me your email and everything, so I can easily put everybody in a group. So like I said, if y'all want to be a part of this me going to New York to put eyes in the courtroom, just do a $20 one time $20 subscription. Put Diddy trial next to your name, and you will have exclusive access. When I go to New York, I will be doing like lives and information that will go straight to you guys as I'm on that journey. I really want to know what happened to the damn camera. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know what happened to the camera, but it's all good, y'all. We at the end anyway. Yeah, it's cool. We just got to do it. Y'all see my famous rag, so that's good enough. And y'all hear what I'm saying, so we good. Love you too, Sherry. I got the best supporters and fans out of everybody, so I'm gonna be all right. Hey, what's up, Anitra? Anitra says happening in Alabama too. Yeah, soon as I get a break, I see what's going on in Alabama when I get a moment. Yep, see Tuck, here go Elon Musk. Here go Elon Musk again. But that's okay. They can't stop greatness. They can't stop greatness. I'm thinking about heading out. I'm thinking about heading out after my son's graduation, which would be like June, maybe like June 3rd, June 4th, somewhere in that time. And then I could also head out in between his birthday and his graduation. So there's a chance that I will head out in between May 24th and June 1st. So either between May 24th and June 1st, or between June 3rd and June 8th. That's when I will be heading out. What's up now, Dreamer? Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, Ebony? Just became a new member of the YouTube. Shout out to Ebony. I would make sure, let me remember, matter of fact, let me take a picture of this so I can remember to give you a shout out actually on the show tomorrow. I really appreciate that. So let me take a picture of that. Ebony Alexander, thank you for the membership. You will get access to everything. Sylvia says she's from Ohio. Yeah, I'm from Cleveland. Good morning, Nadreema. Kobe Wanshinobi, Sylvia. Hey, everybody. Did I miss anybody? I thought I saw a super chat or something I might have missed. Let me continue to look. You know, I like to shout out anybody who supports what we got going on, because they help keep this ball rolling. Let me go through it. Hey, happy hump day, Flower Power. Good morning, Ebony. Good morning, Tracy. C. Tuck, Angie, Libby Bear. Hey, Libby Bear. Sweeney, Burgos, buen dias. You know I'm in Puerto Rico. Gracias. Sherry, Kingdom Fit, what up? Monique, always a pleasure. Sylvia, hey. Let me see. Calvin, what up? Roxy, amen. Lisa. I think I got everybody, and I don't think I missed no super chats or no super stickers or none of that. Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie say you called it, Flo. I sure did. I sure did. Called it like 911. Shout out to Ebony being a new member. I think I got Rock Kilos. Thank you from the UK, Rocky. I will be out in London. I will be in London on tour. I forgot to put London on the flyer, so I will add London, but I am for sure coming to London for the Flow Show No Filter. I Need Love tour. Mike Myers, hey, yeah. Angie. I know I got to come through here and shout out all my people. I think I got everybody. Kiki. Hey, Kiki. Yeah, I got everybody. Let's see if the episode has loaded up. Episode is loading, y'all. Let me think. You seen the game last night? Oh my God, C-Tuck. I'm distraught. I'm distraught. It felt like a typical Cleveland heartbreak. It felt like somebody ripped my heart out and stomped on it and then threw it in the ocean. That was a horrible game. I couldn't believe that. Shout out to my Cavs for getting their ass handed to them yesterday. But it's gonna be a wild one. Yeah, we down 2 now. It's gonna be a wild one, y'all. Be tuned for the trial. What else you got things to look for? As a matter of fact, while I'm letting Apple and Spotify load up, let me pull up my phone and see if there's any like new developments, because they actually dropped a lot of new developments at like 9 o'clock. So while y'all hanging with me as I get Apple and Spotify lined up, let me see if Diddy, if anything has been dropped, like any new developments. So far, the jury will not be sequestered. I forgot to touch on that. Remember, we talked about that we thought it might be a good idea for the judge to sequester the jury, which means the jury won't be able to go home or be out and about. The jury will have to stay together and not be exposed from the outside world. But it looks like the judge is not sequestering the jury. So that's something major to note that I didn't get a chance to talk about. Again, the jury will not be sequestered. So that's big news. Other than that, I ain't seeing too many new developments. Yeah, I was surprised about that, Sherry. Yep, they're not being sequestered. I thought that threw me for a loop. Now that's one particular instance where I was surprised. I was surprised about that. I thought they would be sequestered just because it's such a high profile case. But today is the day where we're supposed to get they're supposed to have a jury actually chose by the end of the day. Yeah, that is huge, Sherry. That's why I said, wow, I was surprised about that one. Now that one surprised me. That one surprised me. But today is the day that we're supposed to, they're supposed to, I didn't mention this in the show today, but today they're supposed to get like narrowed down to the actual jury. We're supposed to actually know who the jury is today. So we'll see by the end of the day if they have a jury selected. A jury selected. And as I always tell y'all, I'm gonna be on top of it. I will bring you the breaking news if it is. Yeah, Sherry, that's why I said I want more info on that. I want to get more information on that because I'm definitely surprised by that. That was shocking. But other than that, I don't see any news stories or any updates as of right now. Well, let's see. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, y'all. Check this out before we get out of here. Ex-corn star who claimed he is Diddy's ex-slave signed an NDA with disgraced rapper in exchange for $5 million. Wow. Oh, there are some developments, y'all. This has just been posted by New York Post 5 minutes ago. No, 1 hour ago. And this is the guy. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, there are some new developments this morning that just came through. I will be posting about this today, probably on my social media. Wow. So yeah, make sure y'all check out Flow Daddy Flow, my social media I got explosive breaking news to post about today concerning this NDA that Diddy paid this star maybe $5 million. Wow. Man, this case, man, let me get Apple and Spotify loaded up, y'all. It's already it's definitely loaded. Boom, 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 boom. Start with the description. Boom. Episode 1. Y'all, I'm getting this loaded up. All right, explicit material. You know, I got to get a warning. This is no filter. You might hear a few swear words. And let's go ahead and publish this, baby. And just like that, Apple and Spotify is done. No, Flow Daddy Flow. Flow Daddy Flow. Like my name, Flow. Just like GoDaddy, except Flow Daddy Flow. FLODADDYFLO. That's my social media. That's my Facebook account and my Instagram. TikTok is the Flow Show No Filter. But the main ones, if you got my Instagram and my Facebook, you won't miss anything. But just like that, y'all, we got everything loaded up. I got some explosive stuff to drop today. If you want to be a part of the Diddy trial when Flow, what we call in Flow on the Go, $20 subscription one time. You don't have to keep that up. Just one time subscription. Those funds are going straight towards the trip. And when you subscribe, when you put your name, just put next to it Diddy trial, and I'll have you with all the exclusive content that I do, go live, all type of stuff as we document what the hell is going on. I want to thank everybody. It's the Flow Show, No Filter, the best in the business. I will see y'all tomorrow. Well, like I said, tomorrow I will see you on YouTube, but tomorrow the podcast will be sub only, pretty much. So nothing else for me to say, y'all, but I'm out. I love y'all. Bye.